far, so good. I've yet to try the other microphone. It actually plugs right into the camera. Now the thing with the stereo mic, as opposed to a monaural or a single channel, you have two channels on the audio. So I'm thinking if it's working properly, my voice should be a little bit more to the center or left of center, and then when you're hearing the exhaust, it should be over to the right more, or slightly to the right, or off to the right a little bit. So you're getting a little bit more well-rounded sound. Now, based on my assessment of the camera thus far, particularly in the audio department, you're getting a little bit more of a broader spectrum of sound, and I believe that's because of the stereo separation. And if I'm not mistaken, it seems like the sound is slightly a little bit thinner. Is the only way I can describe it on the Sony. Now, there are workarounds for that as well, but I think it also has to do with the type of mic. Now, the frequency responses of the microphone. Now, by using an external microphone, different microphones work at somewhat different frequency responses. So I found that when I plugged in the external mic to this, I got a fuller and fatter sound So right now, shooting at, let's see, this is 1080p at 60 frames a second with vivid off. Steady shot is on. I'm not sure if I actually need steady shot in this particular setting because I have the camera rigged up on my phone fixture sort of thing, and I'm using an external microphone that I got off of Amazon.com, and this particular microphone has the proper impedance or frequency response for the GoPro, and it was only like $2 or $3, and apparently the sound is. I was really impressed when I saw the sound. I mean, I'm always looking for a microphone that gives you a really full, deep sound, and finding a lavalier microphone that does that without having to do too much post-production sound sweetening is a bit of a challenge. So this is at 1080p at 60 frames a second, and at 60 frames a second on a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, you theoretically get about 2 hours and 45 minutes of recording at that definition, and I believe the bit rate is 50 megabytes per second, which is pretty decent. Now, of course, the higher resolution cameras are now recording at a much higher bit rate, somewhere around 100 megabytes per second. And I would submit that recording at a higher bit rate is almost more important than the resolution itself. Everybody's gone 4K. Well, it seems like a lot of people are going 4K. But if you're just starting out in moto vlogging, I have to say this Sony, for the amount of money, dollar for dollar, the Sony just, I think, offers a bit more. If I'm honest, I like both the GoPro and the Sony, but for different reasons. I like the flexibility of being able to activate steady shot, which gives you very smooth, particularly like if you're walking or cycling or whatever, gives you really nice, smooth video without any herky-jerky camera type of stuff. And looking at a wobbly camera for a prolonged period, in other words, looking at video that was shot with wobbly camera syndrome, it's kind of annoying and can make you dizzy or whatever case. And I think what I'm going to do is I will also do some audio tests. Since the camera is not in the case, I will do some audio tests with a built-in microphone on this.